What are some of your do's and don'ts for when tragedy strikes?
My big one when we were texting yesterday about this is any kind of, and this would go kind of in that like first category of what you were talking about in terms of acknowledging it or how we talk about it. One of my big pet peeve is the blanket statement of thoughts and prayers, which is not to dismiss the sentiment as being important, but there's the difference between like genuinely engaging with your audience and like making sure that your clients know that you're there for them and adding value and support to their lives like you always do. The flip side of how you can like talk, when you say like thoughts and prayers, is it's superficial virtue signaling, like feeling you have to say something just because you're supposed to say it, then like totally inauthentic and not genuine. So that's the biggest don't that I see. And I wouldn't say that I've necessarily seen a lot of it in this space or in this industry. It tends to be in some other industries, it's more prevalent. And then one of the things thinking about this that would be a do, again, is going along lines of like genuinely engaging and caring for your clients and your prospects and your network, has to do with the ring theory of support or comfort, which is if there's some kind of like crisis or tragedy that has happened, there are people at the epicenter of that. And then there's another layer out is people who are 1 degree removed from that person, close friends, family, coworkers, right? And then another ring outside of that would be like people who are not associated at all. I'm several rings removed from the current situation in California, but some of us know people who are there. Some people in our community are there, right? And so the ring theory of comfort or the ring theory of support is that you comfort inward into the circle and you dump out. And what they mean by dump out is like, and this is particularly like more person to person relations. The dumping is expressing any kind of like fear, anxiety, negative emotions that come along with experiencing a trauma. And then comfort in is that like somebody who's like more directly involved or who is experiencing that crisis, you want to push support there, right? Actually, a great example of this that comes to mind in our community in recent memory is actually what happened in Asheville in North Carolina. And what James, who was just on here, did at that time in his messaging of support to people, but then also reaching out to people because he was obviously very close to that incident. I felt like that the way that he sent out information, messaging, and support, just all of it, like that to me is something that comes to mind as like a perfect example of how you engage in real, valuable, authentic social media presence as a person.